Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Zwift Community Lab broadcast of the BL13 Racing Series, back-to-back racing, 2 races in a row. We're into race number 11 and 12, the final of this series of races. They're starting up some new ones coming up real quickly here for December, and we will be back with you next week for one of those as well, for those maybe wondering why they're not seeing any more BL13 on the YouTube channel. But the racing's about to get coffier, and we got some A racing, B racing, and C racing I think we'll be able to go across for you. BL13 has shown up in force today, Dave, as usual. Bridges and boardwalks, 1 lap, 7K, and then we're going to be in with a 12.3 in McCurry as well with rooftop and rendezvous. The boys have kicked off real hard, Dave, and no doubt it's going to be some of the fastest races we've seen this week for sure.
I don't doubt that for a moment, Nathan. Welcome to McCurry, as here we go. And yeah, wow, look at this. This feels old school right now. Taking a look at a very hard start here. Only 8K in this first race. This format has been phenomenal. It's been great having BL13 hosting these races. We've loved being along for the ride. Look at this, Nathan. BL13 coming in with a very aggressive game plan here today. Remembering that last week we watched them really work all the angles, but they didn't end up with the W. But here today, I think they've redoubled their efforts. And this is going to be, again, the A's that we're in with. It's not a huge group, but it's a high quality field.
This is insane, the pace that they're kicking off with right from the get-go. I absolutely love it. It's great to see counterattack after counterattack, and that's what needs to happen if you're going to try and win this race outright. You can try and play it smart and sit in a little bit here, Dave, but the way that they're playing this, I feel like it even can be a little bit risky to try and pull something off that way here, because moves are going to go up the road eventually. Finish time. What are you thinking here for finish time, Dave? Are you like 12 minutes?
Well, I'm in the low,
minutes?
I'm thinking 12:30 today
Gotcha.
for the A's.
Yeah.
But, we'll see, because I think they might back off a little bit. Nathan, what you were saying was really interesting to me, because haven't we, if you look at the sum total of the last month of racing here with BL13, wouldn't you say that patience actually has paid off more than aggression? I would, but we've watched so much racing. It's been an awesome month, but I feel like in this format, we've seen the teams that have been willing to wait for the frenetic finale and have a little bit extra at that moment. It has paid off. Here goes another attack from BL13. This time, Nathan, they mean business.
Joe Lewis. I thought it was Borrell, but it's actually Lewis here with an Aero power up. And this is a good move through this section. This section's an interesting one for sure, as it is a little bit downhill at a left-hand turn here in just a moment. And with that, Dave, you can carry a whole ton of speed as you come through on a flatter section where the pack doesn't get quite as much of any kind of roll through speed with them. Joe Lewis does immediately gain 4 seconds. As I said, good spot to make an attack. He's almost out of sight around the corner there. I don't think he's going to go out of mind, though, as Calkin here now looking to jump across at 4 watts per kilogram. No, he's not getting. Here's the thing. He's not really able to separate himself from that pack too much at the front of this. Interesting enough. So Lewis here continues out 7 seconds now at this point, Dave. And they're kind of watching him. That was a fast enough start. I think everybody's kind of got this like, oh, okay, what? I just got punched in the face. I had a plan, as you would say, Dave, but that's maybe gone out the window a little bit.
I'm fascinated by this move. Nathan, I'm going to go. I'm in on it. I'm a believer, Joe. Let's do this. All right. So we got to settle into a rhythm now. This attack has gone out to 10 seconds. Now, BL13 is playing their cards perfectly today. When you look at the sprinters that they've got, like Thomas Berry, for example, Thomas Berry now is going to get a magic carpet ride here over the next, somewhere around 5K. I think that this might work today. I think it's the dynamics at play behind. It goes out to 12 seconds now. Nathan, I realized that they could shut down 12 seconds in 1K if they really wanted to, but they're not playing their cards that way right now. This is going to be really fun. I'm for you, Joe. Come on now.
Yeah, and this is a moment of truth right here because of this uphill grind. The pack will be pushing in order, because there's a little bit more willingness, isn't there, Dave? Because on a climb, you can everybody has to match kind of what you're doing, and if you're at the front pushing 6 watts per kilogram, the rest of the riders they've got to kind of look toward about 6 or 5 watts per kilogram, maybe 4 on a little bit flatter section. So you do see some of that time come down. Only to 9 here. If they get it within 5, I think he's getting shut down. If he stays outside of 5, they may settle down and go, that's just too much to close down to risk it at the front end of this pack. He continues to match them here, Dave. It's down to 8. 7 watts per kilogram on the front from Delar. He's almost through this climb, getting through this climb and then accelerating over the top. That will be our answer moment, actually, if he can accelerate over the top and keep a gap. We'll see in just a moment here.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan, this course, he's right now just coming through the last bit of climbing. So is that a benefit or not for him? It's hard to say at this point. I really think that it's kind of like the poking the bear thing. The bear wilked, but now a bear realizes that it's going to come back. And I have a feeling here that Joe Louis may be playing possum a little bit. Well, actually, it looks like he is going to come back. So it was a well-intended effort out here. Not the huge impact that I expected, though. I thought Joe was going to dig a little bit deeper, but I love the fact that he's a role player on this team. You know, this is how you do it. You want to operate as a squad out here. Well, BL13 doing exactly. Oh, here we go.
Right over the top of it. What a counterattack here.
Ciao, Bello.
Yeah, big
See you later.
Move here. Big move here coming on in from the rider of Team Castelli. Now it's going to be Daniel Benedetti. Now from Italy, actually one of my teammates. Nice move. And right where he needed to go actually is over the top of this. And with some speed, if he can carry it with him here, BL13 responding. If they get 2 or 3 up the road here, David, you get too many involved and it just shuts it all down. And that's the thing, is the way he looks to come across from WLC. Peroz is getting involved as well. Dreist, it's going to be Paniza, teammate of Benetti, but that's going to make things calm right on down because so many are involved.
Well, and, you know, one name we haven't mentioned yet is relentless rider Jacob Wilson sitting back in this group, who comes in as the apex sprinter in my mind, Nathan. And I think that even though it looks like it's chaotic out there, it's actually relatively in control if you're hoping to have a field sprint out of this group. I realize that it's been incredibly aggressive, but it's a lot like heavyweights just punching sand right now.
Yeah, and it looks like did you say 8K? So Dave, this race is almost over. Like they're within the 2.5K marker now at this point. So not a whole lot of landscape left to work with. And there's mainly, if you look at the course profile on the upper right-hand side, it's mainly downhill from here, attacking on the downhills. Downhills the new uphills here, Dave. It looks like Paniza sir thinks so.
Yeah, I mean, you really run out of opportunities to attack out of this group, and you just have to go just full beast mode to get anything done. And that's exactly what these guys are doing right now. The Italians have been very active, but I don't know that 7.1 watts per kilo is going to do enough to really impact the chase behind, as it looks like they're settling into a steady state effort. There's Aaron Baril, the South African that I'd be watching for a late race attack from. But it's starting to look like the sprinters might get a crack at it, Nathan. I think everyone expected that they'd get a crack at it, to tell you the truth, and it's starting to play out that way. This move from Panizza, it's not going to upset the apple cart.
2 seconds up the road. 1 second now is getting shut down. Well, Fumagalli now shutting it down at the front. His teammate not letting it get too fast, but that's not going to be able to do too much with the way that this is going to work at the front here. But can he get up to, he's up to 61. You know, I don't know if I would be pushing here at those negative 3% gradients at all, and then I'd be punching again if I could, but not going to be happening, it looks like here. Decker right on the wheel. Fernandez, Simon now also there. They're all almost just, look at this. Look at the back pedal rider getting into a super tuck, not even having to pedal here at this point, Dave, setting up with about 1K to go to the sprint. As you said, Dave, the sprinters are starting to lick their chops. It's time to set up for the big kick.
I've always loved that expression, when the horses can smell the barn, and that would be right now, as the sprinters will go through quite a bit getting over the climbs. Although today it has been tough, no doubt about it, but it looks like everybody's been able to more than hold their own as we now move into the final mode. These men are going to be sprinting for the win. This is the first of 2 races that we've got here. And BL13, Nathan, talking about Thomas Berry. We looked at relentless rider Jacob Wilson. There's a dragon to watch as well, Kirkfield. That's certainly a man I'd keep my eye on, making close to 15 watts power over that 15-second duration. And of course, JM Lachance as well. So here we go, Nathan. Finale mode. Wahoo LaCole. That's going to be Mafa Tarek on the attack.
Yeah, Joe Lewis, he was the first to go there just to open things up. It looks like it is going to be BL13 here up toward the front with 2 riders now at 5 watts per kilogram only, Dave. They're leading things out. Is there another rider that's going to take over for the actual sprint, though, Dave? 200 meters to go. Daz Carter was the rider they were setting up for, but there's a flurry coming through now at this point. It's Way on the front. Way's got the gap now, it looks like. Perfectly timed or not, Aaron Burrell going to come over the top with just enough speed, perhaps. I think Burrell, Kayan, the Kayan brothers, but no, right at the line, it's going to be Pinero. Pinero, it looks like, to the line. Nice kick. Takes it down.
Wow, winning out of a very strong group. So everybody sharpening their sword out here today. Congratulations to the Portuguese rider, Pedro Pinero, taking that group kick.
Dave, that was, okay, I'm still unable to be honest. It's so about the right timing now with this pack dynamics and the right kind of kick. And every sprint is actually so different now at this point. With the terrain, the way the setup goes, I mean, it really is hard to say, okay, this is what I used to be able to say, this rider, they're coming through at this, but the change up in the last couple hundred meters can be so different. And about who's going to actually be able to take these things down now at this point. It actually really amazes me.
The only way really at this point to get better at sprinting outside of working on your fitness, the physiology part of it, is to get in the mix, to get in the scrum and do this. That's the way you're going to learn your timing and really figure out the last few percentage of what it takes to win in a group like this. And I mean, really good look at if you go back to the start of the broadcast, we talked about having the trust in yourself and the patience to be able to wait until that one moment and then go completely all in. Because we didn't see Pedro, Nathan, put his nose in the wind until the last 50K or 50 meters, excuse me.
True. That was very, very well timed by Pedro. Nicely done. We'll get some results up here in just a second. Let's see if maybe we can jump in with a few of the riders in another category, but I think it's going to be too tough to get across. We'll see if we can, though.
This format, the micro racing that we've been doing, especially this time of day, if you're in North America, it really ends up being basically lunchtime for the continent. And then over in Europe, it's going to be folks who've finished, most of them finished work or finished that school work day, and then moving into the evening. So the timing has been great for these races, no doubt. This is going to be our results that we just witnessed as Pedro Pinero taking the win. Berk Kayan and Khan Kayan didn't see them on my start list, Nathan. So the Kayan brothers out of Turkey here, Hexagon is the team for them, and they go 1-2 today. Pep Tache in fourth, Iker Murel fifth today, South African Aaron Burrell in for sixth, Yadi Kranberg for seventh, Jean-Michel Lechance in eighth, Matteo Milanese in ninth, and then Mafa Tarek rounds out our international top 10 today.
Good top 10 there for the A's. We are able to jump across to the C's. Apologies to the B's. Couldn't get one of your riders up for us here, but the C category, we will catch the back end of your sprint. And of course, Paul Smith. Is he there? Yeah, ART has shown up in force here. They're in the last K. And this is a smaller group, Dave. A little bit of a breakaway situation. We go back just a little bit. There's only some chasers, about 3 of them here. But I think we've got a nice little setup of about 10 riders about to take it to the line. It's going to be risky who goes first, isn't it?
Well, boy, exactly. That's the game of chicken that you play, because the rider that goes first has maybe the smallest percentage of winning, to tell you the truth. Look at that Pelican over there. Nice. Hello, Pelican. So it's certainly...
We need a story of Zwift for the Pelican. Come on now. Here we go.
I want to do a podcast with that Pelican. All right. So as we sprinting out of a group like this is incredibly challenging. It really is. Really, I think probably kind of thinking about Riley Sheehan at Perry Tours. You just have to figure out, get the positioning right coming into the last 500 meters. You want to be about 2/3 of the way back through this group, Nathan, so you can pull a Pedro and try to surf the group into the last 50 meters. But here we go.
Smith, big open up from Smith, 13 watts per kilogram, and he's got an Aero
Throws it
power up.
down.
This guy's been almost undefeated. I'm not sure
Yeah, he's on
anybody
fire.
is going to be able to take him down here with that Aero power up. Nice little kick to the line. It's going to be Osborne from Army Cycling, followed up by Kasky. And then Kasky to the Kaboom rider. That's I'm going to see if I can figure out who Kaboom is. But RT,
Well,
I'm having a feeling that's our buddy RT Kaboom. Or
I
no,
have a
no,
feeling,
that's a
Nathan,
different rider.
it's a different Kaboom.
Yeah, we have we got different kabooms. How is it we even have different kabooms? I mean, jeez.
It's the world we live in now. So I got to say that Paul Smith, it's his world. We're just living in it now, Nathan. He has been absolutely incredible. This is what I love about community, too. It's not just the A's.
World. This is Paul Smith's world. We're just living in it. Look at this guy.
Paul, you know that's going to make his video recap.
Of
now.
course.
At least I hope
all
it does.
I was thinking was that's why you're saying that.
Well, we've come to really enjoy
this guy's
Paul.
world. This is great.
But you get my point, Nathan. Some of the folks that make up our community, the biggest laughs and the strongest bonds happen in the seas.
Yeah, I'd say so for sure. And then look at where this kick came from. Well timed, middle of the pack here, and a little bit different though than obviously what we see in the A's. Nobody could respond to where he was coming from because he just had a good enough kick. Army Cycling tried going early enough and that really was the move to try to respond to him.
From
Osborne, it was
Osborne,
just too much. Yeah, it was, and also they both have plays. Kevin Osborne though 10 watts per kilogram, whereas Paul, he kicked at 2 above at 13. And then Kevin just, 11 and 10. It's just a difference in watts per kilogram at that point. Osborne almost had the wheel, but it just wasn't. If he could have matched him pound for pound on the watts, it might have been a little bit different situation.
Well, if Osborne gets his own YouTube channel going, I'll be definitely watching. He's going to get some big wins coming. There's no doubt, riding up on the front of a strong group in an intense race like we have out here today. That was the A's. Let's see what Nathan can find for us here.
Look, digging for gold right now. But there it is. We found it. I think
you found it. Nice job. That's a U16. So I saw someone in the comments saying, why isn't he in school? and I think it may because we'll have to look where Cameron lives. But Cameron Crook, first off, congratulations. You're a legend. And I'm going to have to say you're the champion status today, as well as S. Minto of LBRT. One of the BL13 riders will take silver. And
I gotta say, Dave, it's so great. Like, why is that kid here beating me? He should be in school.
That's funny. It really is. But
yeah. I like it. though. The reason
funny
why
thing
he beat me, he should be in school. That's why he beat me. Go to
That's
school,
funny.
kid.
He probably was in school getting straight A's, went to his after-school job, worked for 3 hours, got paid, came home, and just whooped up out here in Zwift. So Cameron Crook, you're a legend. Paul McAllister ended up 4th, Nathan, right behind Diogo there of the Kraken team. And that then had Grant, who must be a team time trialist as well. Another one of the Kraken riders there in 5th. Scott, the KOM Hunt.tv rider in 6th. Peter Horning from Kraken. They had 3 riders in the top 7 today. Good job, Kraken. It's going to be Adam Rafkind in 8th. Neil Corbin of ZR Scott in 9th. And then Stephen Lannertz of BZR 10th. That was our B's. So
our buddy George and the bike Kaboom, he's actually in chat here letting us know. Good to see you over there. Actually, a lot of these guys are in chat. Great to see. Kevin Osborne, I believe, does have his own YouTube channel too. I think he does. I think he does. Paul Smith from ART, 1326. Kevin Osborne, Army Cycling. He actually submitted that Army Cycling kit to our fashion.
Oh, it was Kevin's. It's going to be possibly on the wrap tomorrow.
It may be. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't taken a look at the notes yet. We can't promise anything. But
I don't want to get involved in that. Right. I
Dave,
do want to get
Dave,
involved. I just
Dave,
don't
Dave
get
in
bad info
fashion.
out.
Are you admitting that you have bad fashion sense? Is that what's happening here?
Uh, uh, Quite contrary, my friend.
Okay, all right. Wow, it's on now. It's on like Donkey Kong for fashion judging, Dave. Who's that guy in
I
third?
appreciate if you didn't put
Who's on
words in my
third?
mouth.
Who's on third? Who's on third? What's on second? All right, let's go.
So did we haven't run? Can I hit this one
Yeah,
for us
go
here,
for it.
Nathan?
Yeah. We're
Okay,
good.
Paul Smith taking the win. Paul, we love you. Great job, Kevin Osborne. You're going to get him. Don't worry. All right, Duncan Caskey in third today, and George, great to have you along. Fourth place for George and the bike, the Kaboom rider. Ryan Cranton of Atomic Racing Team in fifth. Tristan Lepop in sixth today. Simon Frank ends up in seventh. Merton Collins of ESRT is going to be our eighth place finisher. Slaw Kutka in ninth, and then Luteo, excuse me. Peter Z, probably one of our Portuguese friends there, rounding out our top 10 in the C's. How the D's doing? How's Mark doing?
They got Mark did it. He made it. Good job, Mark. Oh, they actually had more.
There we are.
Wow, I thought that there was only Mark, but no, they actually have quite a few. Let's see who this is here, David. Mark Erge at the top with a breakaway, but Mate Vidimer, he's going to be winning the group sprint. It looks like, Dave.
Yeah, Vidmar, which oddly enough, first time I've ever seen that as a last name. That was one of the first bike shop job I ever had, Nathan. The Vidmar was the thing that we kept all of the tools in. So I wonder, there you go, Mathieu. Yeah, it was a good thing, like the master toolbox, right? So Ruben Beavis ended up in third. It's Argenet in the PLY. So Paralympian, Nathan, is what that PLY should stand for here.
Nice.
Right, for the F-Tron Bikes team. So I'm going to jot that name down and do a little bit of research because that is always extremely exciting to see a Paralympian racing with us. Peter Hall ended up in fifth. It's going to be Mikita Maros for sixth. Again, this is our D's. They just raced 8.1 kilometers out there in McCurry. Stuart Kemp ended up seventh. Martin Richardson was ninth. Martin Richardson eighth, Antoine Tooley ninth, and then Adam Lebec in 10th. So that wraps it up for our results from the first of two races. We have a nice interval here. We're just coming up on around 3 minutes until the next race starts. There's riders in the pen getting ready to spawn. Looks like a nice night in McCurry.
Philip Robertson getting warmed up. Super chill. Not even on his bike yet. It looks
That's
like.
a good heart rate for,
yeah.
That's your walking around heart rate, kind of.
Oh, there you go.
Not
He's
bad.
letting us know he's alive. 144, 64. Good job.
He kicked in. Well, nothing's going to be an Irish rider in our books. Good luck today, Philip. I wonder where in Ireland.
Coming in 50-plus rider, too. He's got a solid 20-minute 5.1, though. So, I mean, this guy, he's got no kick. 588's his top end on the kick, making sense to me. But the guy, I think what he's going to be looking to do is try and, get into one of these breaks, perhaps, if he can hang on with these boys.
Yeah, he'll have to channel his inner Sean Kelly today and see what he can pull off. So let's talk about the course that the guys have, Nathan, as we move to our second race here. A little bit different.
Yeah,
3
there's
laps.
1, 2, 3 climbs, and it finishes on a fourth halfway through on Rooftop Rendezvous. So this is one of those, Dave. This is one of those.
Yeah.
This is going to be pretty full gas, I think, up every climb with everybody looking at who made it over the top.
I'm thinking attrition a little bit more than what we saw in the previous race here in our BL13. This is the final race of this block of racing. And Nathan, I really want to thank the whole crew at BL13. They've been absolutely awesome. That's the first time I've ever seen a picture. I love that you're doing this, going above and beyond, Nathan Guerra, as that's Con Kayan finishing second or third. I can't remember if it was he or his brother that was second in the previous race. That's the first time I've ever seen what the Kayans look like. They look super friendly.
Yeah, be on the watch out for the Cans, I think, for a win.
They're not when they're on a bike.
It is uphill. It is uphill. Now, here's the thing. Alexis Larocque from Foudre Punchers. I'd really watch out for him. I'm trying to find his avatar actually out here because I think at 15.9 watts per kilogram. 1,000 watt sprint is what we're talking about here from
Holy cow.
Alexis.
And
So
he's fresh.
yeah, I
He's
think
fresh
that's
too.
he's one to watch out for sure. I think out here today. We'll see how that ends up playing out. But once we start hitting those rooftops, the other thing I think may see a reduced group or even a breakaway win too with the way that this is going to go. I think with this rooftop, if the
Well,
rooftops climbs long enough, I think that we could see something really stick.
so, Nathan, it is so tough in esports to predict what's going to happen. But if there was ever a course that would speak, looking at this side field, the caliber of the athletes, this is the kind of day where a breakaway would work, or this is the kind of race, I should say, where I think a breakaway has a significantly better chance of making it to the line here than most of the races that we start.
Well, as I said, Robinson, right from the get-go, I'm not surprised actually to see this. 2 off the front here. I think they're going to give him some wiggle room to work with. And the reason I'm saying that is because the climb is coming. And with that, it's the kind of one of those that isn't just like, it isn't just.
It's a draftable climb.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
Thank you very much,
and so,
Dave.
Yeah, and what I'm thinking here is if I'm back in that peloton, let's say I'm one of the KN brothers, I'm like, let this guy go. Let him burn his matches for a little bit here. I mean, we just got done doing a very intense 8K. Yes, we had a 12-minute interval to recover, but he's coming in fresh. He can make the watts. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And I would say, you know what? Let's let him scrub off a little ambition.
We'll see how that ends
Is
up
that
playing.
Niall getting up there?
It is.
It is.
Niall's hanging right on the wheel here, too. He was actually the initial instigator. Robinson's the one who went across. So Niall and Robinson. Nice little move here. Now we're going to hit a little 2% gradient and a Joe Lewis. And Dave, BL13, they're never going to sit in. They're always going to do this, and I love that about them. They are always going to be involved and make some moves. They've got the numbers too, right, Dave? Like, why not put somebody always in the right position?
100%. Absolutely, they should be covering this move. And I have a feeling that that's what Joe Lewis's assignment was, and he's living up to it. Joe Lewis, really, to me, Nathan, seems like the kind of guy you want on your team. Right? He's there when you need him. Mr. Reliable. So Joe Lewis getting up there to join this breakaway. Yeah, where's the rubber band, Daz? He's referencing a inside joke from last week, I guess. I guess we can laugh about it. It was one of those things that happens, and everybody has such a great attitude in this group that a little snafu, but we ended up, everybody got a good ride in anyways.
Real looking to go across, and that immediately instigated a response for the entirety of the pack now as they get into the first little kick of this climb. And there was some sort of BL13 rider that just went full on ballistic at the front here, Dave. And is that Womack? Yeah, Womack up and out of the saddle. This is like full sprint mode here over the top of this, Dave. And this is going to get some distance with 2 riders, Barry and Womack off the front. That's alarm bells for sure.
Is the impact going to be at the front of the group or the back of the group when you do something like this, Nathan? Because there's going to got to be a few riders that are going to have to unhitch from the peloton if they're going to go this hard. So this is the first really of 4 times. It's a 3+ lap race, but ultimately these sectors are where the damage is going to be done, and that's exactly what we're witnessing right now.
Yeah, now over the top, it was just to set up Barry, it looks like, as Barry now goes, Dave. And Thomas Barry has got a 4-second gap, Dave.
Wow.
Like,
yeah, let's talk about who Thomas Barry is quickly, Nathan. One of the most dangerous riders here who also is well-rounded. He can sprint, but he can climb as well. I mean, his numbers on the 20-minute power are only Niall has higher numbers that I can see here. This is Thomas Barry that we're looking at right now. That beautiful, beautiful kit there. Obviously, he's from New Zealand. And right now, he is putting them in trouble, Nathan. It is just very quickly 12.4 kilometers of racing out here over the 3+ laps.
And now he's got some company as well. Then Dreich is there. Peniza, 3 teams represented, and 2 of these teams, Dave, have riders in the group, which means there's not going to be a whole lot of chase coming from them. BL13, I don't think are going to send anybody across. That's the only thing I could see is that BL13
Well,
might
no, I'm
make a
with you.
giant jump, maybe to go across
I
if
don't
somebody
think
really
so.
wants to be there. I mean, Pros is at the front at 6 watts per kilogram here. Interesting enough, is he actually trying to go across? That's only going to upset the apple cart up front here, Dave.
Yeah, and I mean, he's setting. Is he setting a real tempo? I doubt he's chasing his teammate down now. Although he is going pretty quickly here. That's Justin Perot that we're talking about here, the Swiss rider on the front. I am a little surprised. Now he's going to get off because he does know that he's got a teammate up in that breakaway. That's Thomas Berry. So we watch the gap go to 7 seconds. Still early going, but Nathan, I want to go back to what you're saying and completely agreeing that with this mix of teams represented in the breakaway, and especially with if BL13 wasn't represented, then I would completely pull any hope from it. But with Thomas Berry there, now the question becomes how much do Panizza and Dandresh want to work with Berry in that group? But it's a very strong 3-rider breakaway as far as potential goes.
I'd be all in with that breakaway with the amount of power that's
If
there.
all 3 go all in, Nathan, right? I mean, they've
Yeah,
got a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, and I mean Panizza, that's kind of like what he likes too. He did this on the Kiss 100 actually on Sunday. We were into the final, I think 10K or so, and we were about to hit this crazy climb. And it was the deciding climb each and every lap. And on the downhill into the climb about a minute or two out, the guy just went full on attack mode off the front at like 60K an hour, immediately got 10 seconds. But it tells me he's the kind of rider that likes to give himself some wiggle room to work with rather than come to the line in a sprint like that. And I think that's what he's up to here as well. And as you can see, he heads to the front at 6 watts per kilogram. Panizza's committed to this here. He'll work with Berry. It doesn't look like Dreesh is holding back as well. So the Belgian, also directly involved with this. And this is the kind of 3-man group that's got the firepower to definitely stay away.
Yeah, and Nathan, I mean, the gap has gone out to 15 seconds, and yeah, the delta just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Is Berry attacking these guys, or just so strong that the Panizza having a little bit of trouble holding the wheel here? That's going to be the case as the Italian is going to get back up into the slipstream. That's going to be D'Andrescia, the Belgian rider, third wheel here. So in the red, the Belgian on the orange Tron bike, the blue Tron bike is going to be Panizza, and Thomas Berry there kitted out perfectly for BL13. Now the panic starting to set in a little bit. We still have a lot of racing, but that's going to be one of the best climbers that we've got, the young, talented Niall, right, racing for Oliver's Bike Shop there. And now 2 riders going right by him, and one of them is going to be Mafat Tarek. So Mafat Tarek is going to be a big part of the conversation for the next few minutes, Nathan, as we come up into 5K of a 12.5K race.
Now, the question is whether or not they come over the top of speed and how much speed they're able to carry over the top of this, because those boys up front, they're going to be working well together to keep the speed, whereas the pack on downhills, are they going to work together enough to keep the speed high, or are they going to go, oh, we're in a pack, sit in, allow it to be carried here? But Pros, interesting enough, he wants to be involved. He is frustrated, I think, that he didn't make this group, but Real as well. So BL13, they're continuing to try and get riders across without giving any draft to some of those who are behind. And Pros here, he does not have riders. He doesn't have riders. Look at this. He has no riders actually in his slipstream at this point. So they actually do have to work. But it's about to be in the slipstream in just a second here, Dave. So he is starting to give them a little bit of benefit.
That's the red light, green light thing for him here. If Perot's is clear and he's not giving a draft, then fine, try to bridge up if that's your play. But once they're in your draft, you really are obligated to back off. That's Bike Racing 101, and he seems to understand that, Nathan. So I don't feel like there's a communication breakdown.
We do have one off the back here, it looks like, of BL13 getting dropped, interesting enough. It is. No, it's actually going to be Robinson. It's not BL13. I thought the jersey. And as you said, Dave, let him dangle out front, and they did exactly that. And too bad he wasn't able to make it. Good go, though, here from Robinson, but he does find himself off the back after Joe Lewis, actually, the rider who set things up for that initial attack, I think, early on, off the back as well. So they got the work done that they were looking to do, didn't they, though?
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan, we don't use masters racing in this format. It's all ability based. But to be fair, you got to give a 50-plus rider a little extra nod there hanging in with these young bucks, because this is a really, really strong field. And he did a great job.
100%. totally can't agree with that more. And I definitely would say amazing job. Now, I do want to just highlight here real quickly how this break was established. We look at our lower left-hand corner, right-hand corner here. Massive. I don't know if that picture-in-picture is quite big enough here. We'll see if we can get something a little bit bigger for you. But this section right here in the that they're about to hit in a moment here through the rails section. Womack actually set Barry up with a lead out. That's Womack on the front in the picture.
It was
and we thought it was going to be Womack, right. But Womack was actually giving Barry a crazy lead out for him to go up and over the top with speed. Womack goes to 40 kilometers per hour, whereas Barry only increased his speed to almost 50 kilometers per hour immediately after a pretty steep climb. So that's actually what set this up and gave him that immediate 5 seconds, Dave.
Yeah, what's really important to me here as well to dovetail into that, Nathan, was the reason that these two were able to join Barry was because they were well positioned when that Womack attack was initiated. So they are here now in this break because they were heads up racing at the moment. Some of the guys that got there's probably 5 or 6 riders, Nathan, back in the peloton that wish they'd been able to go with this move. They would have liked to roll the dice up in that breakaway.
Perot is an example. He's doing it again. He's just like, come on, I wanted to be in this break. And Dave, he's putting the hurt on the rest of this pack, though.
And what he's doing, interesting here, because you might say, don't chase your teammate back. Well, he's been really pretty disruptive as far as the chasing's gone from this group. He'll get them up to speed, but then all of a sudden he's done. They back off. He's really not allowed them to find a rhythm in their chase. If this continues for, oh boy, I mean, that gap, when you look at it, you know, it's going to be touch and go here. There's still enough racing now that unless the 3 in the breakaway can redouble their effort, find another level of motivation. And maybe this is where they do it, Nathan. It does tip back a little bit into their advantage if they can just find that extra effort that they need to hold on to, because the gap is coming down here to 7 seconds from at a maximum.
Well, it's going back 15. Out though. It is going back out. They've chilled out, and so it's this like touch and go, but they're consistent. Whereas the pack goes at like crazy watts, and then it backs off. And Barry, he's still super motivated. He just got a moment. You just saw a second ago. He was able to rest up just a tad as they come
he's
up
getting a little break
here. And so
the other guys aren't working.
40. Watch the speed here. 41. 7 watts per kilogram. 42. This is really watching the speed is so important here. 36, 37 kilometers per hour, 5 kilometer per hour difference over the top here. That is massive. You know, Fernandez now ramping it way up to 7 watts per kilogram, but they're losing time actually through some of these sections over the top. And I think there's going to start being some sore legs here at this point, Dave. I think they're going to be getting a little bit soft with the amount of effort they've had to put in over 2 climbs, and they still got 1 more to go.
Nathan, I have to be honest, I'm losing images here for a moment, so I'm going to try to work on that.
Oh, okay. My bad.
It's something on my end.
Okay.
So
I see you. I got you. I'm back with you. Let's see if we got, and you can go ahead and just refresh your call if you need to. Go ahead and refresh your call if you need to, Dave, and then we'll see if we get you back. But it is back in at the front with Paniza, and Barry is here as well, as we've got Dreisch, Barry, and Paniza is the main.
I'm back.
Sounds good, Dave.
Very strange. But yep, sorry about that, everybody. But yep, 9.5K in, meaning we've got 3K of racing. And Nathan, gap, you were absolutely right there. Gap going back out to 9 seconds. So when they're climbing, they seem to be having the advantage. That bodes very well for their chances here. If they don't give back more than 4 or 5 seconds here, they should be in with a legitimate chance at going to the line as a group of 3.
Backpedal with Decker on the front here. And the question is, do they get enough respite on the downhill? This group will have a little bit more in the tank once they do hit the climb. They're going to have there is that reloading of the reserves that they get that the other 3 aren't going to get quite as much of. 3 riders, though, Dave, on that kind of a climb, trading poles, it's kind of enough to go toe-to-toe with a pack like this until the sprint.
You're not seeing more than 3 riders really taking pulls on the front of that peloton. There's going to be half of that peloton is sitting in now. They're BL13 or the Italians and not wanting to chase. So there's a lot of reasons to believe that this breakawave's got a chance. This is really what bike racing is all about because it's all on the line here. You can see as they make that 180-degree turn, working our way up onto the rooftops, that the peloton is right there. I mean, they could smell the embrocation coming off the legs of these riders. They're that close. But they've been that close pretty much the whole time. It's been ranging between 7 and 14 seconds. The gap now just a little bit less than that, but they're also running out of real estate here pretty quickly. And this group does not look like they're completely at their limit, Nathan, when we take a look at the 3-rider breakaway here. So, boy, this is going to be really, really interesting to see if they can make it to the line. If they get caught, it's probably in the last 100 meters.
Yeah, then Dries here now to the front, using his drafting power up actually as he came over the top. Interesting enough. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that drafting power up there at that point. I would have been sitting in this entire time with it, but he had to come up over the top after using it. It looks like because it did slow down as Paniza made one last 6 watt per kilogram pull. It looked like
Gap to 9.
It's gone back out, Dave. 9 seconds, and Dave, they're right into the last few 100 meters or a few meters here. I think we've got what, 1K to line, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. But just maybe a few meters more than that. But let's just call it 1K to go. Red kite prayer 3 times over here. Is this now is Thomas Berry's dream come true? He's played his cards nearly perfectly, Nathan. He's just hoping that one of these other 2 don't come up with the joker.
Big attack here now coming on through there. It's going to be Peros, lap rider here now. It's going to be Van den Dries here again up over the top. Barry, I thought, was falling off, but I think he was sitting in just a little bit. Here comes the pack. Peros up at the 10 watts per kilogram. Feather power up, trying to jump across. Who is this? This is actually going to be, we need the name here. What's the name? It's going to be Kredenberg from Alpha, looking to come across. He's almost done it. Barry jumps at 12 watts per kilogram from that pack. He'd been sitting in just long enough. I don't think he's getting caught, Dave. 49 kilometers per hour. There's that kick from Kronenberg, but he's not dragging anybody with him.
This is incredible. So can he do it? It's about 5 soccer pitches until he's to the line. Thomas Berry on the front. It really looks like Kranenberg, Nathan, the Alpha rider from Holland, is the big danger man. So things have absolutely blown to bits behind our leader. He rode the breakaway.
He's done it. He did it.
You think he's got
Boom. He did it. Yeah, crosses the line. There's your top 3. Van den Dries. It's just completely blown apart here. That's your top 6 or so, but Berry making it happen. If he wouldn't have jumped, it wasn't happening. That was an amazing jump to the line.
Yeah, so you have to, how situationally aware was he? Because the second that Kronenberg jumped the peloton, he jumped the breakaway. Couldn't have timed that any better.
Yeah,
he used those.
Well done.
My heart goes out to the other 2 in the break today. They rode really, really well. And it'll be interesting to see when we look at our top 10 how they ended up. But they certainly are going to end up as better bike racers. The spirit that you take from riding a breakaway, there's a karmic reward for doing it, I feel. And Thomas Berry really got his today. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy either. So congratulations, BL13, the final race of 12 to make up this incredible series. You take the cake.
Very well done. Amazing to see. There's Barry's attack, as you can see here, up and over the top of the other 2. And it's one of those situations like, oh, man, you watch it go down and you're like, that.
There's nothing you can do, right? I mean, your legs.
Those other 2 are, but I mean, there's that friendship that gets like not ruined, but like you have to just say, sorry, guys,
of the honor party.
It's time to go because this race is about to be over. So. And
Paniza,
nice one on Paniza is taking 3rd, though, even though he was caught by Kranenberg. And Kranenberg, that timing from the Alpha rider, I mean, you gotta really give him kudos to that, though, too.
And then Dries there. But Nathan, you're right. I mean, his legs had to feel like Crostini's in that last K, and yet he still held on for 3rd. So
what is
he's your teammate.
That's got to be. See, I need to know what that is. What is the Crostini?
Like Italian toast that you would have with bruschetta.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Loving
Trying
it.
to be
Dave.
fancy here, Nathan.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
with
I like it. I'm not
international. Yep.
fancy enough. That's the problem. I need to get
Oh,
fancier.
no, you don't. You do you the way you're doing it, please. You're the nuts and bolts of this thing. So, hey, there it is. It is Yari Kranenberg. Nathan, let's remember that name because that was an explosion that Yari put together out there. In any other world, that wins the race, but not in Thomas Berry's. Congratulations, Thomas. That's a big W. For BL13, Yari Kranenberg for Alpha for second, and Ricardo Panizza in for third today. Jasper van den Dresch, another rider of note from today's 12.4K throwdown. This is Justin Perot's very active. Things could have been different if Justin had been in that breakaway. Good job today, Justin, in fifth. Alexis Carpentier of the Van Rysel team. That's a brand I'm just picking up on. As they're in sixth, Anders Bang is back. Good job, Mr. Bang. In seventh, Iker Morel in eighth, Aaron Burrill in ninth, and then Con Kayan goes top 10 in both of our races. Only a handful of racers did that, like Iker and Thomas. So congratulations, guys. Great racing there for our A's. We'll work our way. It's going to be a little bit longer race, though. I'm going to guess the B's have finished, but D's might still be out there.
They're getting close. The B's are getting close. I actually can't find them on course. Really trying to here at this point. But, everybody, it's some of this 100%, like, we kind of have to do some, there's like secret back doors, and sometimes they're locked. I don't know why they're locked, but sometimes there's the secret back door is locked sometimes, and I can't get in. And I'm like, oh well, it's locked, guys. I don't know.
So,
you're going. It's like
podcast,
it's like you're in high school, and like some of your friends, like their parents are out of town or something. Like, sorry guys, we thought they were gonna have a party, but the party's over.
Right.
The doors are locked. Everybody go home. That's
Dazed
kind of what it's like. The parents locked the door. Sorry guys. I don't know. Yes. I'll see if I can jump across to the seas. It's not going to happen. It looks like for some reason it's just locked right now. So
it's kind of like when you're producing. It's like playing Doom. You look in a room and you see what you get.
You play Doom? Wait a second.
Yeah.
Dave plays some Doom. What is going on here? Nathan. Oh man.
The 90s.
You know what I hear is as we wait for some of the results to come in, I hear on the podcast the last couple of weeks, and suddenly I'm getting these. I'm getting these messages from Anna. Something blew up my house. I don't know what happened. And all of a sudden I get a picture of like a hole in Minecraft. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a creeper. And Anna and her kiddos have been getting into Minecraft, it sounds like. But like I look in the picture, I'm like, there's no kids around. Anna's really getting into Minecraft. So which is really, really great that she's taking a little time having some fun.
Who do you two have coming up on the wrap?
This week, I think it's just. I actually have not looked at the notes. She just updated the notes actually, so it
could be just you two. Those are my favorite shows. Actually,
maybe just us two. We are looking to bring in some guests here in the next couple of weeks. We do have a couple of planned, but looking this week, it is just the two of us. We're gonna be talking Zero Zwift Grand Prix. Are there more butterflies in game? We're gonna be looking at the submissions, obviously, for the Jersey pick.
British cycling. Classic rap content. Are there more butterflies in game? As a bullet point, that's coming up on today's show. Are there more butterflies in game?
There's quite a few other things. We might tease a little bit that on Zwift Hype there has been some. Jonathan Levi put out a couple of things he found. It looks like in the files of the game for
the athlete's height that they're entering.
No, there was something else going on there with like something about levels or something. So we'll tease that a little bit, and because some people are just hitting level 60. Sorry, like they think they're max level. Like, well, looks like we might have something different coming up here in the near future. So, yeah,
gotcha.
But and then we have quite a few other things to probably talk about, but we're going to wait to announce those. But
there's a lot going on, that's for sure, right now. So, and by the way, how fun was the ZRL's first 3 races this season? It has been by far the most fun that we've had. It definitely honestly,
I really enjoyed this first 3 races. I feel like we've hit a good stride about how that they've played out. From a racer's perspective too, I think having the differentiation. I wasn't too sure about double team time trial, but I haven't been able to race until the ZRL until last night, and I raced the TTT last night and really was like, man, I kind of missed team time trialing. It's one of the best disciplines by far. It's so tactical. That's something we'll probably talk about actually on the wrap tomorrow as well, but I am going to do a small little voiceover of that one because I was saying to Gabby last night because she was like, you guys, like you had no DS. So she had watched, she was like out shopping, but was kind of watching on her phone or something. And was like, you had no DS. There was no talking, but you guys won. And like, it was perfect. And you were happy, Nathan. She was like, when you're happy in a team time trial, Nathan, everything's going right. Like, because I get really mad when things are like, whatever. I'm a pretty
intense.
passionate. Yeah. I'm an intense racer. And so it just went really well. And it made me say this one thing. I was like, when you have gamers, so you'll watch gamers at like a really, really high end level, or people who are on a team's field sport, there's no talking. It's like there's a little bit, there's like this, that, but, that. Like all it is almost like little grunts, like this acknowledgement, and everybody knows where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there, and how they're supposed to be there. The thing that's crazy is like, our team hasn't been riding together for a while, but we've ridden together for well, at least I haven't been with them for a little while, but we're so used to and been doing this so much. We've done so many TTTs that this idea of in an esport, when you have gamers gaming day in and day out at the same environment, and they're trying to do it at the highest competitive level, it kind of creates a natural assumption in every single way that you possibly could with that environment. And then all the individuals on that team have also been doing that same thing. So when they all come together, it's just like obvious. What you're supposed to do in every single moment is just absolutely obvious. And I have to upload that one because it was almost seamless. And any mistakes that were made, it was like immediately recognized, and there was no DS. Everyone just went, oh yeah, that, and boom, right back in place. It was pretty seamless. I'm really, really proud of the team actually last night with OMG and the TTT. To say ZRL has been a lot of fun for my first race. Only the first race I was able to actually do with it though. So,
you just described what makes team sports special, right? That feeling you can't get alone. You can't get that feeling on an awesome trail run. You know, an awesome trail run is great, but it doesn't have that element to it. And not knocking anything, you know, all of these things have a great place in athletics and sport in people's lives for sure. So, all right, how are the results looking, Nathan?
Well, we've got Coco. That's what we've got Coco. We've got Coco Cadence, and
we
also got Cameron Cook at the top there. He still didn't go to school. He took them to school. He didn't go to school. He took them to school.
Enzo is the name of the hour, that's for sure. There's a fresh article here in the American cycling media about the two young Enzos racing, one of them Enzo Hincapie, and the other a young man from New York City that Charlie Eisendorf has been supporting. There's a great photo of Enzo at Charlie's Central Park race. So Enzo is definitely the new name in cycling. So Cameron Cook taking the win, Enzo Babu for second, Dmitry Kornilov for third, Pedro Bastos ending up in fourth, Esminto of the BL13 team in fifth, Diogo for fifth. This is the Bs that we're looking at now. Matuz Mazik taking seventh, Rasmus Otto for eighth. It's Grant of the Kraken team, another top 10. Grant, great job, ninth for him. And then Kent Fat and Fast Kiltgaard in 10th. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah, nice job. 108 back. Can't be
that fat.
Yeah.
Or
plenty fast. Paul Smith at the top here, 21:31. It's gonna be Duncan Caskey there coming in for second. Kevin Osborne again. That's your top three. It's gonna be Jonas Gudtais in fourth. George and the bike. That's like a song. He's making a song out of this. It's George in the jungle. Yeah. Right, okay. Yeah. Kaboom! I
and
got you
combined
now.
with Mike
See,
and
I
the
had
bike.
to say it.
So
I had to say it, right? Oh, nice. And Mike, I like it. He's really
right.
got play on words. It wasn't until I said George, and the bike that I suddenly had the
Oh, that,
rhyme of
yeah.
George in the Jungle in my head because I've heard the song so many times. Darren Lindley there for art. They're also in 6th. It's gonna be Ryan Krant in 7th, also for art, and then Michael Norby in 8th place, followed up by Martin Collins. That's your top 9. He's riding for ESRT. And is that SETI? I think that's SETI on the end there. D category.
I was wondering about that myself. I did want to add, Nathan, very quickly here, that in no way am I endorsing that you go watch George of the Jungle. It is not an exceptionally enjoyable movie in my book, but it is
Gotcha.
it is a movie of note.
And it
But
definitely has
it's not
something that
being
sounds that way.
it's not being recommended. I want to be very clear on that.
At the top,
Wout van Nieuwhof that's a big one. Wow, good job today taking the win there and making the watts to prove it too. A breakaway solo break with a 1 minute 7 second advantage at the line. That's a difference maker. Wow. Benzer Sharif, I should say, in second. It's Mark Vermeulen in third. Duncan Cooper for fourth today. Pedro Oliveira in fifth. Roberto Rua in sixth. And Molly DeGuia rounding out our top 7 there for the D's today for our final BL13 race of this block. But worry not. Nathan's got plans to be back next Wednesday, and stay tuned. You can always go to Zwift Community Live. Website's great, all kinds of information. If you want to go to the YouTube channel and subscribe, we would greatly appreciate that. The numbers have been going up, but it makes a huge difference on what we can do and the power of having you as part of our YouTube family, Nathan. It means a lot to you, I know. So good things happening. Let's keep this momentum going.
yeah, and it seems like the reason we push the YouTube so much, because we do know there's a lot of viewers on other platforms as well. Twitter, I did see Facebook's got some pretty good viewership, as well as Twitch has got a really good community, but it tends to get you the notifications the best. YouTube just tends to be a place that a lot of people tend to use, and that they do a good job of notifying you. If you do turn on your notification bell, you'll know anytime that we do go live, and you can catch some racing. We will be back next week with some more BL13, and then tomorrow's the wrap and ZGP. Gabby's getting ready for that.
Good luck, Gabby.
It's going to be good. Yeah, it's going to be a great race. They are in McCurry on a pretty hard course, actually, tomorrow. I think it's going to break up. I think it is. I think there's enough climbing and punchiness on that course, so it's going to be a good one. And then the wrap tomorrow night. We're starting a little early on the wrap, everybody, an hour earlier than usual, because I think there's a birthday or something. We're going to talk about that on the wrap.
A Minecraft tournament in New Zealand or something.
That's what Anna's doing for her birthday. She got so into it. She's doing a Minecraft. Or suddenly Anna's like this gamer. Oh my!
Tell her I said good luck. All right.
I will. She'll be like, "What?" We got her into. Just so you know, you got a Minecraft tournament coming up, Anna. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Again, as Dave said, ZwiftCommunityLive.com is where you can find information about all things Zwift Community Live. We had a ton of fun broadcasting everything so far this week. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody, for the wrap episode. I believe we're on 71, maybe 72. But as always, from me and Dave, ride on.